expansion is taking your administrative systems and your lead generation systems and really from a centralized hub and launching them into another location. So, for instance, most agents really, whether they have, they wake up every day and have a lot of things to do other than list and sell real estate. And the idea behind expansion is you grow a really incredibly great centralized hub. And it doesn't have to be geographically central. As you know, several of my people are virtual. And allows you to develop systems such that you can expand them into another location, specifically lead generation, for another expansion partner to go out and just list and sell real estate every day.
Okay. So let me break that down. So you're in Alaska. You're an agent, and you're you're the VP of Mega Agent Expansion for KW. How many folks are currently doing that within KW, having multiple offices in different locations?
Five in the programs. So we launched at Family Reunion. We have 285 people in the program, and some of those have multiple locations, meaning more than just one additional location. Some of them have 6 or 7 additional locations now.
Okay, so 285 agents within KW are currently having multiple different offices. Tell me you've said what it is, but why would somebody decide to actually expand? What's the point? How did this even come up? What are you guys doing? Explain some more about the details in the process.
Well, the reason you would want to expand is either A, you want to increase your profits, B, you want to grow a big business, and number 3, which I think is really, really attractive to me, is it allows you to deepen your bench of talent as well. And so if you think about Starbucks, for instance, Starbucks doesn't have one location that everybody comes to. I mean, they could have, but they would really limit how much they could grow. So Starbucks started to expand, and when you initially expand, is it possible that some of Starbucks were at the original location may go to the second location? At the end of the day,
we're having Kristan, your entire thing just cut out. Scott, are you hearing that too?
Yeah.
Okay. Start on over.
Unfortunately. Everyone, just so you know, she's in Alaska and the connection isn't perfect. So bear with us when we do this, all right? Thanks.
Also, guys, if you're listening, Scott's moderating for questions. So jump on there, ask your questions. We're going to stop in mid-drift and answer those questions if you can. So, Kristan, you're talking about Starbucks. So when Starbucks expands, what happened?
Well, Starbucks isn't just in one location. If they were, they would limit the amount of profitability and the amount of growth that they could have. And so Starbucks, by having additional locations, is it possible some of their clients from the original location may go to the second location instead? Of course. However, having 2 locations and multiple locations will allow Starbucks to be a lot more profitable, much bigger. It's the same with expansion. When expansion should be a natural product of your business. I'll give you an example. My main hub is the majority of the people in my main hub are in Alaska. Our first expansion was into Anchorage. That was just a natural progression because of our lead generation and marketing. We were all of a sudden get by in Anchorage. At a certain point, when you have enough leads to justify finding an acre for Anchorage, that's exactly what we did. And we were able to grow our business in Anchorage a lot faster than we were currently just by sending folks to Anchorage to list and sell property. So, a lot of times folks say, well, if it's just the city next door or 15 minutes away, why wouldn't you just still have everything out of the same location? And what I would say is it's the Starbucks question. They have one right one. When you make a commitment to actually have an expansion partner in another location and you put them in that, your business will grow exponentially faster than if you're trying to service something across the city. It's just not efficient. It's not a good use of time when you're having to travel. For instance, in Metro Phoenix, it's an hour drive across the city to another location and be profitable and efficient. by having an expansion partner in that additional location, while the hub is doing all the administrative work, all the legislation work, and really all the accountability and leadership.
Okay, so how far away should an expansion team be? Like if you're considering opening an additional, and I guess what you said that was really struck home for me, because I've actually owned multiple markets before. Like we're in Sacramento, I was in Northern California, and then I went to the Bay Area, you know, at the height of our real estate world before this virtual assistant company started taking over my world. You know, those were natural progressions because I was from Reading, and then San Francisco, you know, it's very close, high, you know, there was a high dollar value. So for me, that was like a good spot to be in. But where should, like, is that how it typically goes? Or tell me more about that.
Well, I mean, if you want to be the most profitable, if you want it to be the least complex and the most efficient, expanding within the same city would be ideal. Now, when would you not do that? Well, if the city is so small, warrant that. So, for instance, in Alaska, we have one market center here for Keller Williams. So the amount of growth is limited. However, Metro Phoenix, where I also have a market center and an expansion partner, we have 12 market centers in Metro Phoenix. So expanding in Metro Phoenix, there's a lot of opportunity to do that versus maybe Alaska. So you expand initially within your same, if that's possible, meaning if your city is large enough that you have enough population base and enough business to do that, and certainly within your same MLS, because that makes it very easy. Then, you know, the next expansion, after you have really saturated the city, would be into another city within the same state. And then only when there's no more opportunity from within your same state would you really cross the state line. When you cross the state line, the complexity, the cost, it's just a lot different. And so that would be, you know, most people who expand will probably do 1 or 2 expansion locations within their same city and be very profitable.
Gotcha. But why? I mean, again, if you live in a big metro, your point is have one team here and then an expansion partner on the other side of town, covering and do you choose like a better location or do you a higher average price? You know, more. I mean,
Sure.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, those are great questions, and you know, when I look at it, when we expanded into Anchorage, it made complete sense because Anchorage has a sales price $100,000 higher than Wasilla. So when you look at, you know, you have to search the opportunity. Look at what is your value proposition in terms of lead generation. What, you know, will that work in that additional location? What I mean by that is if you're expanding into a luxury location, lead generation lever may look different. And the question is, do you have a lead generation lever that will produce predictable results in that additional location? That's the only reason that you expand. If you don't have that, then you shouldn't expand. So when we get expansion, there's some things for me that I look at. So for instance, am I expanding into a location where the lead generation systems that we have will work? And how do you know? You test them. You test them in advance. You turn the lead generation on in advance. Secondly, what's the turnover? What's the average sales price? Look at all of those things, I think, for a natural fit. So for us, you know, when we expanded into Anchorage, that made perfect sense because the average sales price was a little higher. However, lead generation levers were the same.